suggestion, it could be like, and the reason that it's weird to me because it could be a generational thing. If these men aren't verbal and they don't really talk and they don't really take initiative and control in anything, not even in dating, now they're sitting back like bad bitches and waiting for women to even approach them
That's
there.
what's
Uncon-
happening. Yep.
that's telling me a difference in the types of men and why this conversation is weird to me, that are not having any problems getting women to be delicate with them or resting their femininity or all these other dumbass things y'all say. It's telling me what the difference is between the men who just don't have this story and the ones that do. The men that are talking and that are verbal and are making their intention and their plan and their direction and all that kind of stuff clear, that's an attractive, charismatic man. That's the man that isn't
I'm
maybe
gonna
as handsome, that
I
can
say
get a chance to have
I'm
access
gonna
to
say
a
this
woman
real
who
quick.
maybe looks better than he's ever had. Those are the men in my time that do that. That's why to me it's not uncommon for a not so good looking man to be with a beautiful woman. That's why I don't understand why
We got
come
some,
That
Right.
men
personality.
are
I agree with
we
that.
got some
it's
guys
But
it's
at the
be-
I
it,
bottom
it's
talk.
be-
I want to
Let some
say this
guys at the
real quick.
bottom talk.
I
Move.
I do want to say this real quick, and I'm gonna let this go. I do think at the end of the day, if we're gonna talk about what's the most constructive thing to take away from this conversation, I think the most constructive and immediately effective thing that can take place, because if we already, I think it's generally understood now that a lot of the time it's hard for black women to be led by black men, or believe that black men, or believe in black men being able to lead them. So even asking them to be more open or more, I don't think that's even I don't think that's reasonable or possible, to be real honest with you. I think that the
The
most
problem is
constructive thing that we could do, hold
Let
on,
him
I think
finish.
that the most constructive thing that we could do, honestly speaking, is like she said, like we do have to kind of look back and regain a lot of these things that also define and help to shape what we view as positive or masculinity and masculine traits. And I do think that the most constructive thing we could do is just be courageous, bro. Like honestly, just be brave. That's something that, you feel me? I feel like at the end of the day, bro, like the concept of shooting your shot, you miss 100% of all the shots that you don't take. And I think instilling that confidence into other black boys growing up, and other black men in our neighborhoods, and good black men that we know actually have something to provide and contribute, but are too shy and too afraid because they don't fit the norm, or they don't fit the cool stereotype. I think it really is. It comes down to being brave, because that resting bitch face, I ain't even gonna lie, that shit really will push a nigga away real quick. Like that shit make you think, yo, if I say one wrong thing, or if I approach, even if I approach respectfully, it'll make me feel like you might create a scene and kind of make me feel dumb, which in turn might also discourage someone moving forward from continuing to do the same
It's
thing,
just
or,
not
or
inviting.
continuing to try it. You feel me? It's not inviting
the,
energy,
the,
right?
the, the
So
fact of the
that's what
matter,
I'm saying.
This
We
brother,
gotta
is
we have to
brother,
And
be
brother.
Derek,
Here's the
conscious.
think
thing.
about this.
Here's the thing,
Derek, think
brother.
hold
about
Here's the
this.
thing.
on,
Derek,
hold
Derek,
on.
think about this. What am I always
Please,
saying
can
up
you
here to
go?
these
You
women?
done, please.
What really quick? I'm always telling these women, if he don't say, women, men go after what they want. They say what they want. They're very, very clear. If they not doing that, they being ambiguous and don't mess with them. Y'all sitting up here saying that all men are doing the same thing, whether they're handsome or whether they're attractive. None of them are verbal. None of them are speaking. None of them are having to do or say anything to tell the difference between a woman to get a woman that they want or not. Right? What was the difference back in the day? If a man was approaching me and I went and told my friend, the first thing my girl would go, "Oh, what did he say? What did he do?" Like that's how you match the two things together. There's no way to match it up now. Y'all just out here doing whatever, but you want women to be able to follow you, to listen
Okay,
to what you have,
See,
but you're
okay,
not gonna.
you
You
okay.
come
can't
from
be
a
Brother,
different
verbal.
Derek,
age.
Hold
Derek,
on,
Derek,
Moonlight.
Derek.
You
Here's
coming
something out.
from a
Derek,
different
here's
That ain't
something
age.
out.
no
Derek,
everybody.
here's something out.
Everybody. I'm
Here's the
gonna start
You
thing,
using
come.
though.
my
Here's the thing,
functions.
though. Derek,
Moonlight.
here's the
I'm
thing,
gonna start
though.
using my
Here's
functions.
the thing, though. Derek, here's the thing.
Moonlight. Moonlight.
Yeah,
Moonlight.
yeah.
Hold on. So this is the thing. This is the thing. Because I agree. If men are afraid to speak, he who hesitates masturbates. So I give you that. I think it's a lot of men who are attempting to approach. They not getting the results because they don't have enough flair with it. I think if we stuck to that, we'd probably be able to have a more productive conversation because you're not gonna get no disagreement from me about the man who don't speak. He don't deserve to have no woman.
Derek.
But
But
for
here's
the
the
men
problem.
who are,
Derek,
hold on, Moonlight, hold let him on, finish. Let him hold on, finish. Do this. I think what has to be realized is, and this is just in my opinion, I think less men have charisma than there are men who have money. So we know the disparity between like how many broke niggas is out there versus niggas who actually have money. I think it's even worse when you're talking about charisma. I think it's even less men who have that.
That's a fact.
So now, so we go through everything that women is looking for, and I'm just gonna speak from the perspective of how of what I hear women say in these conversations every day. So we talk about the money thing. Women want men with money. Well, most of these niggas is broke. Okay, point taken. You want the looks. Oh, most of these niggas is ugly. Well, I guess that's y'all judgment to make, not mine.
Derek,
Charisma.
Derek, Derek, here's the problem.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Wait a minute. Let me get through this. So now we on charisma. Well, most of these niggas is boring. Like, I guess I wouldn't disagree with that either. But if for all three of those things, it's very few men that have each one individually, and then it's even less men who have two of the three, and then it's even fewer men who have all three. I think it's perfectly fine for women to have their expectations, but you can go about this one or two ways. You could either get them hands dirty and compete with the best of women to get one of those guys, or you can temper it down just a little bit, so you don't have to get your hands dirty and fight the war. Because that's and the craziest thing. This is the craziest thing. Like I said, it's fine for women to want all of that, but they'll want all of that, and they don't even have a competitive mindset. They just think they're good enough, based off of their looks for one of those guys to just scoop them up and commit to them. So it's fun. So my thing is, I think a lot of women hear men say stuff like temper it down a little bit as a way to humble them or something. No, it's not that. I'm saying if you want all of those things, be ready to go to war for it, because you're gonna have to. You're gonna have to do some extra shit. You're gonna have to. My thing is acts of service. I don't feel like a woman is really fucking with me like that unless she's doing things for me without me asking her to do it. And I think a lot of men will kind of share that. But for a lot of these women who want these things that only very few men have, you're not even competing to have it. So if you know you're not gonna compete to have that with these women who are, trust me, they out here competing, whether you know it or not. If you are not willing to do that and get them hands dirty to go to war with these women, you need to temper your expectations, because you always gonna be frustrated. But y'all got
yeah, Derek, here's the thing. Here's the problem, Derek, that I've been seeing. Now,